Hi, my name is Willem Ziada, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to introduce to you, truly, a Renaissance man in the music world. He is an acclaimed singer-songwriter, guitarist, music engineer. His name, Frank Westphal. For more on Frank, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of the one and only Frank Westphal. Hello, Frank. How are you?
I'm doing very well today. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And I'm so excited that the audience just got a little sneak peek of your incredible talent. And you are actually joining me from a coffee shop in Wisconsin. This is what I love about these interviews. You're in a coffee shop in Wisconsin. I'm in my apartment. It's loud on 57th Street today. And we are just here to talk art and music. Could it be any better, Frank?
No, that's awesome. You're in Manhattan right now?
I am.
Yeah, I used to live in Manhattan. That's awesome. I'm missing New York City a little bit, but I'm also enjoying the Northwoods.
Where did you live in Manhattan?
I lived at East Broadway, and I think it was Clinton, down on Lower East Side, like right on the border of Chinatown.
Yeah.
And then also at 123rd and Lexington in East Harlem.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's right by the Metro North Station, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We'd always hear the trains going by.
Yep, that was me. Cool. When I first graduated college, I would head home because I was living at home at the time in Pelham Manor in Westchester. It's like 3 stops away from the city. But anyway, yeah. Frank, enough about me and you. I just want to talk about you. Frank Westphal, you are a Renaissance man. You are a singer-songwriter, guitarist, music engineer, but you also have dabbled in every single genre possible. I'm curious to know, first and foremost, Frank, where'd you grow up and when did you realize you had such a love of music?
I actually grew up in Spooner, Wisconsin. That's actually where I'm at right now. It's crazy because it's been a huge full circle. And it was about probably in 5th or 6th grade when I started playing band instruments that, I really like music. Like we had sheet music, but I was sounding out my favorite songs like on the trumpet and trombone. And then my friend came over to my house one day with an electric guitar and played Bad to the Bone. And I was like, I'm done with trumpet, I'm done with trombone, like get me a guitar ASAP. And so that was the beginning of the guitar playing. And like, I think a really expansion for my love of music.
I love that. Well, I've spoken with so many musicians, Frank, those who began with guitar. It seems like that's such a beautiful foundational instrument to have that then can parlay into any genre. It's such a beautiful instrument. What is it about the guitar you like most?
The dynamic capabilities. It's one of the most versatile instruments. I mean, I make the argument, it's a really popular instrument. A lot of people play it, but the reason for that is that it's one of the most versatile instruments. You can bend notes, you can slide notes, you can tremolo notes, you can play in different keys, you can finger pick, you can, there's so many different ways. I don't think anyone's ever mastered all the styles of guitar. Individuals have mastered like a style or something like that. And even that's arguable, it's such a subjective, dynamic, liquid instrument. And that's what I love about it.
It's beautiful.
It's like I don't feel limited on a guitar, whereas with a trumpet, like I felt pretty limited. I mean, granted, I wasn't very good at it, but like it's like, you know, there's only 3 buttons. Like how much can you possibly do with a trumpet? I'm not trying to diss anyone's trumpets, but like the guitar is just, there are so many options.
Well, Frank, you bring up a really good point, because I think if you just look at all of the different genres and all of the greats, whether it be blues, rock, pop, folk, most of the greats either had a guitar in hand or were surrounded by a certain guitar. And you also bring up a really great point about, I want to go back to your comment about it being full circle. Obviously, this time has been crazy for everyone. We have found ourselves as artists, especially, really investigating why we do what we do. Curious to know what your why is and how that has strengthened throughout this horrible, crazy time.
Yeah, I think my why is, it's a lot of personal venting of my own frustrations with things that I see that don't add up. You know, I think there's a lot of things in this world, and as I was an IT engineer for about 8 years, and as an audio engineer for my own music and stuff, there's a lot of systems that I just don't think are as functional as they could be. And music is a way for me to take that kind of negative frustration and put it in a tangible, like a positive form. You know, I do something creative and constructive with it instead of like let it drag me down. It's kind of like that negative stuff inspires me to create something, and then I can just kind of move on. It's cathartic for me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's cathartic for you. And it's also
Yeah.
cathartic for listeners. I'm sure you've heard it before, but you have such a gift. You have such a gift that obviously has taken years of working at it and fine-tuning your craft. Curious if there is any advice you could give to maybe young Frank or any artists out there just getting started. What would you say to them?
That's a good question. I would say, for one, don't listen to people that say that you can't do what you love. And then two, work really hard at it. If it's something you love doing, do it a lot. And it usually comes by default if you love it. It's one of the reasons I think when people do what they love, they often find success doing that at some point, because they end up doing it a lot. If I go try to do something I don't enjoy for 12 hours a day, that's just like work, you know? But if I love doing it, it doesn't seem like work, even though I've accomplished a lot during that time. So I would say that. And then also, don't get too caught up in theory and like the technical side of music. Like that can be very beneficial as a toolkit. But, you know, I've known a lot of musicians who can play just like ridiculous, you know, any theory, all the arpeggios and scales and stuff super fast, and they can't write songs. Like you can, there are great songs out there that are 2 chords on an acoustic guitar, or like 2 chords on a piano, you know. The song is what counts.
Wow. Frank, I could see that as your memoir title, The Song is What Counts by Frank WESTPHAL.
That's good. I like that.
Frank, I come up with these ideas sometimes. I think I should just trademark them now. No?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think you have a gift for that. That's good.
Listen,
the song
Frank.
is what counts. It's, you know, at the end of the day, as much as musicians might care about like a super awesome piano riff or violin riff or guitar riff, when I listen to music, I don't listen to it as a musician. Like I just want to feel something.
That's right.
And so I don't like break it down and try to understand everything that's going on. I just know, like, is this song talking to me? Am I feeling something? Is there a message? And if it's doing that, I like it. I don't even know what's going on in it. When I get into my own music, I break it down because I have to make it. But I really create it because I want to hear it. And that's why, you know, I want to hear the music that I create, and I go, well, it doesn't exist, so I'll create it so I can hear it.
What I love so much about that, Frank, before we, end, although I could speak with you forever, is the fact that the little kid in you has never been silenced, it seems, or if he ever was, you found a way to allow him to be seen and heard. And the fact that you talk about music still as that little kid who, listened to, what was the song that made you want to play guitar?
Oh, when my friend came over with Bad to the Bone.
See, I'm just thinking like, you're still that kid listening to Bad to the Bone. You're still that kid just wanting to hear music that moves you. And in a time today when we're in a country and a world that sometimes likes to divide. What a beautiful reminder you've given us today, Frank, that music is in fact a universal language, and that if we just lean in and listen, we'll be able to find more similarities and differences.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. A universal language. I think it's absolutely true. And I'll just say that, you know, there were a lot of things that attempted to silence that like inner child in me. And I even tried to attempt to silence that myself with my drug use. And that's a
Wow.
whole other side of my journey and exploration. And I'm on the other side of that now, and just really excited to create a lot more new stuff. And not letting that die is kind of what I held on to. Like I knew that that inner voice and that child spirit is alive in everyone, but there are so many pressures from the outside world to just say, hey, that doesn't matter, that doesn't count, you know, that doesn't pay bills, blah blah blah. And not letting go of that was a huge battle in my life, but now it's back strong. Like I'm holding on to it, and I guard it very carefully now because it's everything to me.
Well, Frank, thank you so much for sharing what you shared. Thank you for being vulnerable. It moved me. I know it's going to move a lot of people out there who I think can relate. But the fact that you are still going strong and found the light in the darkness, I just want to let our audience know that for more on the amazing Frank Westphal, you can read more about him right below this video. Frank, God bless you, and thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you, Will. It was nice meeting you.
You too.